Probably the biggest disappointment offensively is we had 3 opportunities during the game, especially in the second half, really to kind of put that last nail in the coffin and put the game away. And we just didn't capitalize on any of either of those situations. The first was the drop touchdown in the end zone, which I believe would have made it 28-3, and probably had a lot different finish to the game there. The next one, I believe we had the ball about the 33-yard line and threw an interception in the end zone. And that was on Sharon. He understands that. We talk all the time that we're going to be aggressive and take our shots down the field, and when we do that in a one-on-one situation, the one thing we have to do as a wide receiver is protect the quarterback and be sure the ball's never intercepted. And we just got to knock that down, and that's something that we'll all learn from. And then the third situation, later in the fourth quarter, we got the ball to plus 35 and came away with no points. And really, I think we had, before the missed field goal, we had a 3rd and 2 opportunity and just didn't convert right there. But if we would have capitalized on any one of those 3 situations, I think we would have had a lot more room, and it wouldn't have been nearly as close as it was at the end. Obviously, going into the week, at the beginning of the week and throughout the week, we had a really good plan to throw the football. As the week went, you started seeing the weather reports. We started obviously putting more focus in the running game, because we understood that we weren't going to be able to make a living throwing the ball in those conditions. And then I think the way that the game went, each game's a little unique, and we've just kind of the last 2 games, it's just really been the way that the game has gone. But we get in that game, you're up 2 scores right out the gate. It's raining, it's wet, windy, you got drops, and there's balls popping off people's pads, a lot of things that are unpredictable. And then our defense was playing really well, all the way up until maybe those last few drives in the fourth quarter. Our defense was playing really well, and we're at home. I felt like we were calling plays to win the game, and we felt like to win the game we needed to run the football, and we were having success doing that. So I think our staff was unanimous in our plan. Really, the biggest thing is we needed to execute the plays that we called a little bit better. And the times that we did decide to throw the ball, we need a little bit better execution. But I think we've all been around here for the last 4 years. One thing that we've never been concerned about is throwing the football. Our quarterbacks and wide receivers go against one of the top secondaries every day in practice, and we compete really well and have a lot of success. So I don't think there's any cause of concern or worry among our group. To be honest, I look at it as a positive, because we've been able to win 2 big games by running the football. And I think over the last 4 years, that's one thing we've always wanted to maybe do a little bit better. We've had a lot of explosive plays in the passing game, but we've always wanted to maybe run the ball a little bit better. So I think it's really good for us, to be honest, to be able to have to count on those guys up front and the backs. And I think as the season goes and we start getting into some normal games here, it's going to make us only that much better as we start throwing the football. But I think looking ahead at Georgia Tech, they got a lot of guys back, a lot of experience, their entire secondary. I believe they got 4 seniors in the secondary and maybe 9 starters back on defense, and 9 of the 11 are either juniors or seniors. So they played a lot of ball. It's a rivalry game. They play us well every year, and we did not perform very well last year in Atlanta. And so I don't think we'll have to talk our guys into this one. They'll be ready to go Saturday. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Do you kind of look at this like we're 4-0 and we haven't even come close to playing our best yet?
Yeah, I do. And that's typical of a season that you get better. And then also looking at our schedule, with the first 2 games that we had, and then playing Louisville on a Thursday night, and then you're off 16 days, and then you play, Notre Dame in a hurricane rain. It's not a typical maybe the beginning of a season like some of the other ones, but I think we're very pleased going into the season. The concern a lot of people had, you're going to have 4 or 5 new offensive linemen, and how are you going to run the football? How are you going to protect your quarterback, and all those type of things? And I think we feel very secure in the playmakers we have, and obviously with our quarterback. And so to me, I think it's, we're going to need to lean back at some point, throughout the season when we do have to run the ball in some tough situations. And I think our offensive line, running back, and tight ends are going to be able to look back at these last 2 games and have a lot of confidence that we can do that. And then, as we get going with the passing game, I think it'll make us obviously that much more dynamic. But we're definitely nowhere near a final product whatsoever. We got a lot of good things in the game plan that we haven't shown yet, and the opportunity hasn't arisen for that. But I think we're getting ready to get on a stretch where we're going to need both the passing game and the running game, obviously, to be successful and continue to win.
With that said, the season now goes to 8 weeks in a row, and you mentioned the beginning of the season being awkward with the short week, the long week. Now that you got 8 weeks in a row, you think you're going to be able to get the guys in the quote-unquote groove? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, and I don't feel like our guys were not in a groove. I just think it's just kind of interesting. Each game's been a little bit different, and the schedule is a little bit different. But I know there was some concern also, being off for a 15-day layoff and then go out there. That's why we felt like it was really important to get off to a fast start, and we spent a lot of time as a staff and an offense really scripting those, the first 10 or 12 plays to have success and to be able to get out there and have a chance to get up early. But yes, you get into a routine now where everybody knows what's expected each week, and and we got a lot of schedule, left. Our guys know, hey, it was a great win, but at the end of the day, you're 4-0. That it doesn't mean a whole lot if you don't take care of business here these next 8 weeks. So I think the guys are excited to get on a regular routine and kick it off. Well, I think the biggest concern, the way we look at it, offensively, is when did we have opportunities to put the game away? And that's what we go back and look at. And there were some opportunities, late in the 3rd quarter and then obviously in the 4th quarter where we could put the game away and there would be no more. We wouldn't have had any of the deals we had to deal with there at the very end. And really what that comes down to is executing. Like I said, on that one drive at the plus 35 that we ended up having to kick a field goal and missed a field goal, on 3rd and 2, we had a call and we didn't execute it. And so if we can get that first down and go down and get points, whether it's 7 or 3, it changes the entire game. But I think, to be honest, we try to look at it as a positive. There were many years where we were in those situations at Clemson and we didn't finish those games out. And now we've been in 2 tough situations against 2 good teams. I think as Louisville continues to play, I think that win at Louisville is going to be looked upon as a really good win. And at Louisville, and then to come back here at home against a very good team as they start trying to get the momentum back, I think that's something that we can build from that, and then also learn from that hey, we don't want to get in a situation where we're having to do this every week. So how do we do that? Do we go back? What are the things we can improve on? But you do that each week. But overall, I think it speaks to the entire team to be able to be able to go out and execute. We knew. We were telling our guys on the sideline even whenever we got up, this thing's not over. We're going to get their best shot as it goes, and we need to stay focused and keep executing. And luckily, we made enough plays there at the end.